Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to discuss with you 5 specific habits that you need to incorporate in order to become financially free. So by the time I was 30, I was already a millionaire. I achieved financial independence. So these are 5 specific things that I learned in my journey towards financial independence. Please listen to this carefully and please stay till the end of the video. Only then it would make sense. Otherwise, you will understand half the things, leave, and then it creates a problem. So let's get this started. I'll speak in 5 simple points. So point number 1, you need to invest in yourself. You need to invest in yourself every single day, right? What do I mean by this? So essentially what happens is that when we get a job, we start working with the assumption and with the perspective, I'm going to a job. Now I am the responsibility of my organization and my organization is going to define my existence. If I'm working at McKinsey or if I'm working at Google or if I'm working at Infosys, then I start defining my existence with these organizations. This is completely wrong. Please don't do it. Why am I saying it? Because though employers will tell you that, hey, you are their family, but whenever a pandemic-like situation hits, who gets fired first? It's you, right? So unfortunately, that is the reality and you can check it. When the 2020 coronavirus happened, tell me one of the biggest food tech companies in India, what percentage of their employment workforce did they fire, right? They have recently raised an IPO. I would want you to comment in the comment box, which company am I talking about? So the bottom line is that the companies or corporations will tell you that, you know what, Akshat, you are the most cherished employee that we have and we love you and this, that, whatever, right? But the problem is the first sign of distress, employees take the brunt. So you are responsible for your own personal and professional development, not your company. Please understand this point and please invest in yourself. So what do I mean? What do you need to do to invest in yourself? You need to develop both your soft skills and hard skills. Soft skills, for example, how you speak, how you write, how you conduct yourself. Do you network really well? These are ubiquitous and evergreen soft skills. So please work on it. If you have to take a course, take a course. If you have to read a book, read a book. Do whatever it takes, but get really good at these soft skills. Please do not say that, hey, I don't know enough. I'm not good at soft skills. This is not my forte. This is not something that I would enjoy. Please do away with all these excuses because your corporate career or if you're looking to build a business, the results will only come if you have these soft skills in play. That is one. Second thing, you must focus on developing your hard skills as well. For example, I was a management consultant. So my hard skills was business analysis. So I became really good at it. I specialized in financial inclusion practice. I learned a lot about finance, strategy, marketing, and I combined all these concepts. I developed my business skill, which was my technical skill set or hard skills. Similarly, if you are a coder, please fine-tune your coding skills. Learn about new languages. I don't know what new languages are. I only know C, C++. You can comment what are the new software languages that are there in the market now and what people will benefit by learning. But I hope you get the point that if you're an editor, if you're a graphic designer, if you're a coder, please excel at your technical skills also. The second point that you must focus is that you must focus on improving your productivity. Now, why do I insist on improving your productivity? The answer is very simple, right? Most of us, what do we do at the start of our career? We actually trade our time for money. So we go to office 5 days a week and at the end of the month, we get a paycheck. So essentially, what are we doing? We are exchanging our time for money. That's it, right? And if you get into a routine that, hey, morning, get up, go to office, then do some work, have lunch, come back home, cook or order some food. Most of us order. So cook, order some food, watch some Netflix, go to sleep. Get up again, repeat the cycle. So if you fall into this rut or this routine, what would happen is that you're not even focusing on your productivity. You're not thinking how you can grow in the long term. You would continue to do your job. And again, tying into point 1, that you are not a family member of your employer. Okay, let them tell you whatever they want to tell you. You are not a family member of the employer. The first sign of distress, they are going to fire you. So you are responsible for your own growth. And a core skill of growth is that you need to focus on being productive. So every day, even when you're going to office, you need to be productive in terms of completing your tasks on time. Being efficient in terms of getting up early if you are doing some productive work early. Reading a book. Building a new habit. Learning a new skill. So you need to be productive because by being productive, you create free time. Once you create free time, you can utilize that time for your own growth and creating a cushion or a fallback plan in case something goes wrong in your primary job. So please keep this in mind and please start early. If you're someone who has just joined the corporate space, so make sure that every day you're doing something productive for yourself and you are focusing in terms of being efficient with your time. Now, if I combine the first and the second point, it leads to the third point, which is that you need to think beyond your job. This is extremely important, that you need to think beyond your job. If you're only dependent on one source of income, then you have close to zero sources of income, right? I'll repeat that statement again, that if you have just one source of income, you have close to zero sources of income. So you need to think beyond your immediate job. If you're not doing it, you will have a lot of problems in your life going forward. This leads to something called as contrarian thinking, and I term it as logical contrarian thinking, right? Now if you go to your parents and tell them that, hey, you know what, Akshat talked about this thing today on his video, they might not be very happy with what advice I'm giving you, right? The reason being that in our parents' time or parents' generation, it was okay for them to depend on one job, because majority of our parents used to have government jobs, right? Or the companies that they used to work with actually took care of their employees. For example, Tatas, Mahindras, they actually took care of their employees. But this is not true anymore. So you need to be a logical contrarian. Yes, focus on your work, be productive, complete your work on time, but please ensure that you are creating some kind of a side hustle if possible, right? Please focus on that. That is very important, because that way you are reducing your dependence on your employer. If you don't even acknowledge this fact, if you believe in the argument that, hey Akshat, you know what, my employer loves me, they are not going to fire me ever, no matter what the situation is, then you are not being logically contrarian. You are literally doing exactly the same thing as everyone else is doing. So you will struggle from that angle. And please do not assume that the corporate careers now are exactly the way it were 30-40 years ago, right? The corporate careers have changed dramatically. Now in India, we are moving towards the startup scene and startup space, and they will fire people like this. They will snap their fingers and fire you, and you will be fending for yourself. So please make sure, if you're in a startup, if you're in a corporate job, you're creating something on the sidelines. Otherwise, it can lead to a lot of bad stuff for you going in your career. Number 4, and this is the most important point, you must learn how to invest. And I say this for 2 reasons. Number 1 reason is that, see, all of us are making money. And whenever we are making money, we have to invest, because if we just simply keep it in an FD or a bank account, the rate of interest that you will receive, it will be eaten by the inflation that happens. I'll link my video on inflation here somewhere. Please go and watch it. You will understand the principle. But the bottom line is that if you're just putting your entire salary in your bank account or FDs, like most of us, then unfortunately your money is not growing at all. In fact, it is coming down in real terms. So please learn to invest, because all of us are making money and we have to invest it somewhere, right? So that's one. The second reason is that investing can actually become a passive source of income. So for me, my investments have now become a major passive source of income for me, right? I don't need to sit and analyze stocks all day and, look at my real estate investments and all that. It just generates a cash flow, right? I keep on accumulating it and the wealth grows from that angle. So this passive source of income is something that you must be really concerned about, and you can only do it once you start investing your money either in real estate, golds, equities, and bunch of other instruments. So please do keep checking my videos. I'll make a lot of videos on different asset classes, and depending on your comfort level, you can start investing on those asset classes. Now this brings us to the final point about passive incomes. So passive incomes are very powerful. Passive income is an income where you don't have to invest your time to make money, or you have to invest very little time to make a lot of money. So there are massive sources of income in terms of starting your own YouTube channel, in terms of writing your own ebooks. So I run a subscription service called as Cases Over Coffee. You can check the link in the description box. It will help you understand more what we do. So we teach people about business skills. So essentially, I saw that a lot of people are interested in learning and improving their business skill. So I started that subscription-based service. So now essentially I have multiple passive sources of income. I will reveal it once I hit the 200,000 subscribers. So please help me get there fast. And if you want me, I can discuss more about passive sources of income and I can make a separate video on it. But essentially, the point that I want you to notice is that creating passive sources of income is very important, and it is a very important part for keeping you healthy, financially healthy in your professional journey. So the 5 points that I covered was that you need to invest in yourself, think beyond your immediate job, improve your productivity, learn to invest, and create passive sources of income. So if you do these 5 things, I'm sure that you will find massive success in your career. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. That would mean a lot to me, and I will see you the next time.